We started around. I seen him all. He was too emotional. When I watched him, when he came in the ring, the first time I stepped in the ring, I looked at his face and I saw he was too emotional. I said, no way he's gonna win. I was telling my trainer, I said, he's gonna lose tonight.
Welcome back to the world of boxing. In this video, we will show you part 2 of our selection of the 25 best punches in the ring.
Falling ever further behind them. Oh no!
If you like this video, please don't forget to punch the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. September 2010. Carlos Baldomir was considered by some as having a granite chin and was able to withstand blows by some of the best punchers for 16 years. But in 2010, rising star Canelo Alvarez proved his punching power was a force to be reckoned with when he knocked out Baldomir in the 6th round.
This is Dazzler. Down goes Baldomir on a rocket left hook. That's the biggest moment of the night for the crowd. They're going wild. And the count is finished, and he knocked Baldomir out. Not a TKO, a knockout.
October 1989, Tim Witherspoon entered the ring against Anders Eklund. Witherspoon had all the prerequisites. He was powerful, and his right hand was a potent weapon, with which he knocked out Anders in the 1st round.
This one is over. The big right by Witherspoon gets upstairs. Sean's prophetic.
In April 2013, the future heavyweight king, Tyson Fury, fought in America for the first time. His opponent was Steve Cunningham.
Touch him up.
In the 2nd round, Fury missed a hard incoming right from Cunningham and experienced the first knockdown of his career.
That's the punch right there. Steve Cunningham is looking to land that overhand right. Tyson Fury got too aggressive and got caught with a big shot. Even more aggressive, coming right back with the right.
In October 2005, 2-time world champion Jose Luis Castillo and 3-time world champion Diego Corrales met for the 2nd time in the ring. Their first encounter, also in 2005 in Las Vegas, ended with a Corrales victory by TKO in the 10th round. The expectation was that the second meeting between Castillo and Corrales would result in another tough fight, but it was not meant to be. Castillo took his revenge, knocking out Corrales in the 4th round.
Corrales continued. Oh! And down goes Corrales here in the 4th.
March 1996, David Tua bursts onto the world stage with a brutal KO of John Ruiz. Having his first title fight, Tua, then unbeaten at 22-0 with 18 KOs, really showcased his talents.
This could almost be over now. Tua came storming out. It's over. Tony Perez stops it at the count of 5. And David Tua, as advertised, the left hook.
September 2017, Junier Dorticos more than lived up to his nickname, the KO Doctor. He knocked out the Russian hammer Dmitry Kudryashov in the 2nd round to retain his cruiserweight world title.
He hit him with that hard right hand. We talked about it. He's a knockout doctor, and they call him that for a reason. This one's over.
March 2019. Overconfidence often ends in failure, as exampled in this fight between Sam Maxwell versus Sabri Sadiri.
Looking a little bit groggy on a face which tells a story.
Some knockouts are just brutal and spectacular. One such KO took place in June of 1972 as light heavyweight king Bob Foster, a man known for delivering highlight reel KOs, defended his crown against the unbeaten Mike Quarry. In the fourth round, Foster landed a right cross followed by a left hook, which dropped Quarry just before the bell sounded, ending the fourth round. November 2006, IBF heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko puts his title on the line in his first defense against top American contender Calvin Brock. Brock boxes the champion on even terms for several rounds until Klitschko knocks him down with a big left hook, followed by a right hand in the seventh round. The challenger beats the count, but on unsteady legs, the referee Wayne Kelly decides that he is in no condition to continue. Deontay Wilder's hard blows sent more than a dozen boxers to the floor, but the knockout of Dominic Breazeale in May of 2019 was especially striking.
Breazeale badly hurt. And a right hand. And that's good night. Deontay Wilder retains his world heavyweight title. They're still counting.
January 1999, Mike Tyson against South African athlete and former IBF heavyweight champion Francois Botha. The fight took place in the MGM Grand Garden. Tyson knocked Botha down late in the fifth round, and referee Richard Steele stopped the fight.
Both are stumbling around. 8, 9, can he make it? It's over. It's over. Mike Tyson has returned. One right hand equals
New Jersey, January 2015. At a low-level fight, Courtney Blocker basically ended the boxing career of Dominic Good with this knockout punch. Just listen to this sound.
Here's the straight right hand, hurt him a little bit. Oh, beautiful big right hand, and he's out. Down goes Dominic Good. Beautiful right hand.
Harold Graham is not a name you hear much of these days. However, during the 1980s, he was one of United Kingdom's best middleweight boxers. He turned pro in 1978 and went undefeated in his first 38 fights over 9 years. But in November 1990, he met in the ring with Julian Jackson, who had insane power. From the start, Jackson struggled with Graham, unable to find anything of note. With his left eye near shut, the ringside doctor gave Jackson 1 round to continue before he would stop it. And at 1:13 of round 4, Jackson desperately threw a full power punch that made contact. Graham was out cold before he hit the canvas.
He won't get up from that. He's out. A right hand. It's all over. He's out. Oh, would you believe it? Unbelievable. Would you believe it? And he's still out. When you can punch like that, Dave, what can you say?
In 1999, both Peter McNeely and Butterbean were looking for a fight with Mike Tyson. McNeely wanted another crack at Iron Mike, and Butterbean had always dreamed of a match with the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But there was no real chance of that happening for either. So after months of negotiations, it was decided that the two would square off against one another on June 26, 1999, in front of a big crowd in Las Vegas. Butterbean ended the fight by TKO at the end of the first round.
It's all Butterbean. McNeely ready to go. And that's it. He steps in and stops the fight just before the bell. It's over in the first round.
If I said sacrificial lamb, would I be overstating the case?
Gennady Golovkin's rise to the top of the middleweight division has been spectacular. One of his best matches was against the Japanese fighter Nobuhiro Ishida in March 2013. 70 years ago, on October 26, 1951, Joe Louis fought Rocky Marciano. It was a crossroads bout for both. Louis was 37 years old and needed to beat Marciano in order to get one last shot at the title. For the 28-year-old Marciano, who was in his fourth year as a pro, Louis was his first big-name opponent. In the 8th round, Marciano floored Louis with a short but powerful left hook. When Joe rose, Rocky went in to end the fight. He backed up Louis to the ropes and landed 2 left hooks. After a second hook, Louis's hands dropped to his side, and Marciano landed a right that drove Louis down and through the ropes. February 2000, the famous warrior Arturo Gatti sent Joey Gamache to the hospital for a week and subsequently ended his career.
This is the second time in 2 fights now that Gatti has come in.
August 1990. The young Pernell Whitaker became the undisputed lightweight champion of the world by knocking out Juan Nazario in the first round.
Not gonna make it. Not gonna make it. This is a first-round knockout for Pernell Whitaker.
June 1936, 2 legends, Max Schmeling and Joe Louis, met for the first time in the ring. The referee was the legendary Arthur Donovan, and the stadium seats were sold out. The bout was scheduled for 15 rounds. 57 million people listened on their radios. A minute into the 4th round, and with Joe Louis bearing down hard, Schmeling once again moved away to establish the desired distance. As he did, Louis followed and reached out with a slow, pawing jab. Schmeling instantly pounced with a vicious counter right. The punch visibly stunned the inexperienced Louis, who had a shocked expression that crossed his face as his legs buckled. Schmeling followed up with a flurry of shots punctuated by the perfect right cross that dumped Louis on the canvas. Chris Eubank was both brilliant and unique. His antics for the cameras were priceless. In September 1990, he knocked out Reginaldo dos Santos 20 seconds into the first round. In 1909, Jack Johnson went into the ring against Stanley Ketchel in what they called the Battle of David and Goliath. Legend has it that the 2 fighters agreed to try to go the full 20 rounds for the sake of making a motion picture to be replayed in theaters. However, Stanley Ketchel saw an opening in the 12th round and went for the knockout, flooring Johnson with a right. When Jack Johnson got up, Ketchel moved in for the kill and was knocked out by a massive right from the champion. As Ketchel was countered out, Johnson brushed off a pair of Ketchel's teeth that had embedded in his glove. Johnson allegedly said, "He crossed me, and I made him pay for it." After a record-breaking reign atop the heavyweight division, the great Joe Louis finally retired in 1948. And in the years immediately following, boxing struggled to find someone to live up to his reputation. It would take an extraordinary fight with a legendary knockout to help boxing's premier weight class regain popularity. On September 23, 1952, that happened. Rocky Marciano entered the ring against Jersey Joe Walcott. In the 13th round, Marciano knocked out Joe Walcott with a right hook. Marciano went on to become the new world heavyweight champion. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for new episodes about the legends of the past.